Greetings, fellow humans. Divine non-binaries here. Day of quarantine. I don't know which day. What is even today? Number, day of the week? Monday, right? I'm not sure. We'll find out. So, day been passing, sun been blessing, hair been growing, barber being shut down. So today is basically me attempting at some maintenance of the body appearance, while maybe talking about some important things, or maybe not important at all, because I have no idea what I'm going to be talking about. The main purpose is kind of to show you that you can cut your own hair. It's allowed. It's also not so hard. I'm gonna talk about that as well, I guess. The hardest part is the sun, but you see, being blessed comes with some details of like not being able to see stuff that doesn't matter, right? I don't need to look into the camera to know what I'm doing. I mean, I'm looking in the mirror right now, so that's fine. What we'll start with, I'm not gonna cut this off yet because I've been really enjoying having this tiny cute braid. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just cut off all the bleached hair off of it where I connected it, because I've been wanting to get rid of the dry ends forever, and somehow have not been doing that. So I'm just gonna cut it off, and when the braid is not installed anymore, then I'm gonna just clean it up, which is gonna be like when it's supposed to happen, I guess. Someday I realize it's not there anymore. Oh, it's been felting. No. I mean, we'll deal with that as well later. So, when you cut your hair, I mean, it depends what you want to get. A good rule, depends also on how much hair you have. I have a lot of hair, so I don't want all my hair be cut at the same line, which is what happened actually at the barber's last time I went. So this hair is the same length as like ends here, so that means the top hair is longer, which create unnecessary excess of volume. We don't want that. I don't want that. You see, like this one is this long, and on the sides they're this long, so they're shorter. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and kinda make them sort of kinda the same length. Oh my god, with the mirror it's a little bit tricky to know which way you're moving. It's a bit easier to cut other people's hair than your own, but I mean, when times call for it, you can manage. You can manage somewhat. I'm not gonna even explain that you have to cut under the, on the angle, because I can't. Oh, I can. Look. There are only thoughts standing between you and what you want to achieve. Only your limiting beliefs. So, yeah, just like go at it and then like check, and then you like comb it up and you see, oh my god, this one is longer than the other one, and then you're like, I don't even know if you can see, maybe I have to slouch a bit, and then you're like, yay, now this comes off as well. No dry ends, almost. It's as if I'm trying to leave a little bit of dry ends. We'll see how it goes. So, life, huh? Am I right? Isn't it interesting how cute life is? Recently I've been asking Source to help me align with it a bit better. And of course, you can't really, it's kind of like giving up your own responsibility and being like, mommy, help me do whatever I think I can't do. But I did not just leave it up for the source to show me, because that works sometimes, especially when you're super desperate and you exert very, very strong energy of like desperation. Source is like, shut the fuck up, you're so held, you're so supported, and then you see it. That's kind of not the direction we're heading in, right? I mean, I can only tell for myself. I'm gonna also maybe, my hair is dirty right now, but that also makes it easier to brush, and that also makes it so that I don't have to wash it 2 times, because I'm gonna wash it after I cut it. So I'm fixing the bangs because I can't see shit, and I would prefer seeing shit, you know, over not seeing shit. You see, and then after I have kind of chosen the length that I want, you see I'm doing it in the corner. I mean, maybe I'm being a bit like, how you say, too ambitious, but I want it to last longer. I don't want to be cutting my hair every week or even every month for that matter. I enjoy the extremes, like, oh my god, this is too short, and then you see the corners, they're like softening after you brush it. You don't see a corner anymore, but it just gets like a little bit thinner on the end, so it can lay flat and, you know, cute and not in some kind of weird pile. So what I've been talking about, so I'm learning is not the really right word, in the sense that learning is when you don't know something. It's more like practicing, because I know what I want to achieve and I know how to achieve it. So now it's the matter of getting it into this dense human body. You know how when you think of something, it already exists in a 5D, 4D, it's already there. 4D is the thought, 5D is the spirit. So 5D exists before you even think. It already knows what you want, what's there, what's yours, what's not. And the thought, then comes thought. And then, if you let it be IRL, if you trust this, then it manifests in reality. So I've been asking to be connected more to source. And how do you work on that? How do you help the process? Because you're the one in the human body. Like, source can show you signs, but it's not gonna be like standing next to you like I don't know, like a kindergarten teacher and being like, here we go. Like, it gives you impulses, and it's your responsibility to know that it's the impulse of your spirit, pointing you in the right direction. So I ask to be more connected to spirit, or like more consistently connected, for which I have been practicing only doing what I really want. And sounds a bit, wonky. It's like your spirit knows best, and it's not selfish. I mean, it is, but for a good reason, because we're all one and we're all unique. So you are responsible, oh my god, which way? You're responsible for expressing your unique nature, and you're the only one who can do it. And if you don't let your unique nature be expressed, you're the one who's standing in your own way. But not just own way, but the whole world is getting deprived of you. So you gotta, and your spirit wants you to express, not your spirit, just spirit, whatever. consciousness, global consciousness, wants you to be you. So it's gonna guide you in direction of oh my god, in direction of your desires, basically. So after I asked to be more connected to source, literally next day I got guided into an encounter where I was provided with an opportunity to talk about things I don't usually talk about, because I almost feel like they're like such basic for me, like such a given, that I don't really pay much attention to them enough to formulate those things. And I've been given an opportunity to discuss them with somebody, and I just felt spirit flowing. I was like, my speech is barely in the same tempo with the spirit, with the channel. And I know that I am always channeling, like especially creatively, whatever I'm doing, or like when I have an engaged conversation, it's a very, very strong channeling feel, like you have to kind of tune into, and it goes and goes and goes and goes. It's like a flow. But consciously not being not even appreciative, but like what's the word, kind of acknowledging that on a more conscious level, I guess, doesn't let you see the beauty. So I have asked and I have received. And why am I saying this? I'm saying that so you are not withholding yourself from asking. Let me do a little bit, I don't know, should I? Let's see. We'll see how it goes. I can't really see on the back, but at least it looks clean in the front. Don't be shy with what you're asking. And what's funny is, because this was this thing that I knew I am channeling. I knew I'm very, very, very deeply connected to Source. So for me, I had no doubt it was gonna happen. I was asking and I was like, I'm just asking to show you that I'm ready, you know? It's like this ask and you shall receive. It's not about somebody giving it to you, really, because it's already there for you, but you gotta be ready to claim it. So the whole process of manifesting anything and everything, whatever it is you wanting in life, looking for, striving for, it's the process of you being ready to receive and being ready to claim it, whatever it is you're looking for. So when you are sure, when you're not doubting the possibility of you having it, then you get it right away. And that's been actually my life for a very long time. I just order things and then they appear in front of me. Whether it's like some kind of object that I need, some kind of, I don't know, financial tool. But now my responsibility is to lift the perceived limits. Like, I know that I'm always supported and I always have enough. But next step is, what is enough? Because as a person born in Soviet Union, my enough is almost under the minimum wage, you know? Like, I know that you survive it in any situation. It's like not possible not to survive Like there's always solution for everything. So this resourcefulness is kind of, I don't want to say hijacking my abundance mindset, but it's just, there's this task of showing to yourself that yes, you are super cool at solving the problem, but also let's see how you're gonna solve. Maybe it's not even solving, it's trusting, right? But how can you trust that you're also allowed to be carefree? Maybe that is the thing. Like letting this reality of being nurtured and provided for at a very profound level, where you literally can just enjoy your purpose. And the thing is, learning how to manifest and learning how to allow things is as well a part of your purpose. It's not reserved for few people, it's not reserved for a chosen few. It doesn't mean like, oh, I came into this life to experience suffering. I mean, yes, suffering gives you a good perspective on what is not cool, right? But how are you gonna go from knowing what's not cool to claiming what's cool? Right? By the way, if you need a haircut and your barber is closed, we can try and do it outside with maximum protection. But of course, I rather advise you to cut your own hair because it's fun, and it also shows you that you can do everything. Especially if you think you cannot, you definitely should do that. And that that pertains. What's the right word I'm looking for? It is applicable for every situation. Every time you think, oh, that I definitely cannot do, that's exactly the indication that you should do it, that you can do it, and that you want to do it. Because if you did not, you would not have formed a negative belief about not being able to get it, about it not being accessible to you. How about that? You hear me? You hear me on that one? Interesting. Wow, I'm transforming from the blonde into, I don't know, a herring? I don't know. What is this color? Sometimes it looks brown, sometimes it looks orange, sometimes it looks gray or even green. I love it. It's like a freaking rainbow. I think it's called like Russian blonde or something. Duh. Look at this Russian blonde over here. So that's interesting. Another I don't know. I mean, it's also interesting if you're still watching. So another day I was like envisioning my future, just like being. I was not really thinking about the goals or anything. I was just like thinking about me, the way I look, the way I feel. And I was like, okay, I am a bit, like I'm strong, flexible, whatever, yoga shit. A little bit tan. Not a little bit, like, but like consistently tan, but like to me tan is like being outside, right? And also like communing with nature in a way. So it's not about the how strong the tan is, but how consistent it is, you know? Kinda the tan you get from living under the tree in a tent, whatever. I don't know. Also not wearing any clothes. That's so weird. Like a person who's designing clothes doesn't want to wear any. But like, who does? Why would you want? I mean, I understand the weather stuff and being a bit cold or a bit too hot, that I get. But I mean, if you just wait a little bit, I'm sure your body will install some whatever. So it doesn't matter. So I imagined myself being really nicely tan, and like, you know, the glow you get from being in the hot weather all the time, but not just when you get there. Like when summer just starts, we're all like sweating like crazy, but then a little bit into it, especially if you don't hang out around air conditioning too much, your body adapts and you start sweating just a little bit all the time, and your body gets this beautiful glow. So I imagine that all the tattoos that I am getting, like, that are already in existence but need to be delivered to my body. And I just fell asleep. And what do you think happened? From being absolutely almost death blank white, at least in my face, previous day, every day in the morning I look at my face because I really like my morning face, but also, you know, to greet myself and everything. And what do you think I see next day in the mirror? Tan fucking face. You might see it now, might not. You see I'm yellow? Like orangey? And I don't really care what exactly my body did to get that. Maybe it's some kind of disease that makes you look orange. But you want tan, you get tan. And when you don't attach any like strong resistance to it, it just happens. Yeah, it's not exactly the low fade I had before. But how amazing is it that you don't even need to see what's up, just like, you just go at it and you just make improvements towards the goal you want to achieve, and you get closer and closer and closer. And then when the barber is finally out, you're like, can you just touch this up a bit? You know what I mean? But eventually also it could be that you just become so good at it, you never go to barber ever again. So by resisting, you know what they say? That if you believe, like if you remove the resistance in your belief for that something is not possible, that literally happens. Like if you plant a tomato plant today, right? And you believe or you don't doubt that tomorrow you're gonna get ripe tomatoes, you will. The tricky part is to believe it will happen, right? Because we have all these voices and all this life experience, which is just looking at what other people believed, right? It's not visionary. Every visionary you've ever heard of was made fun of, laughed at, But the vision they held was so strong. They did not give a fuck about anybody's doubts. Or we don't know, right? We don't know. Maybe they also had doubts, and maybe they also had breakdowns, and maybe they were desperate at some point, but then they got up and had to make a choice between envisioning the better future or just keeping regurgitating what is, which is like nobody can stop you from, right? And there's nothing particularly like bad about it, you know? Do what you want, girl. But, you know, again, do what you want. Or do what you want. What is it that you will allow yourself to want? Think, what is it that you're doing in your life that you're doing just because you believe you have to? Are there many things like that in your life? Or just one thing? But it's just so essential that it's for sure you have to continue doing. Because, you know, of course, all other things I have eliminated. But this one thing I just have to keep doing because there is no way to go around it. Okay, and now envision your life. What it would look like when you actually stop doing it. Not as an anchored in the present moment. Oh, if I stop going to work, I'll lose all the money and I'll be kicked out. Don't go there. Crying about something that's not even happening. It's like eating shit when you don't even have to. Like you never have to, but like being like, oh, let me eat some shit on purpose. But let's just imagine the life, if it was possible, to have whatever life you choose. Just whatever. No conditions, no limitations. What would be that life? And think about it in relation to the thing that you think you have to do. And the life where you're not doing it, what are you doing instead? Or how you're doing it instead, if you still want to do it but maybe in a different way. Imagine that and sit with that and see how you feel. Do you feel good? Do you feel bad? Do you feel bad because you feel like you didn't deserve it? Or because you think it's not possible? Do you feel good because you know that's exactly what you want? And only if it was possible, you would have already been working on it. Okay. Let me feel the back. It's fine. Okay, I guess. A little bit more. Have you imagined yet how good can your life feel? Can you allow yourself an idea of carefree life? Or do you connect it to being a bad person, being a careless person, being arrogant, being selfish, being self-centered? Do you realize that the better you feel, the more good you can bring to the world, and that your whining can only upset people or keep in a place of expecting failure and bad things to continue or to come? When you were a baby, you did not cry about not having money until your parents told you either that you're not allowed to have them because you're not good with money or math, or that they don't have any money. So you learned that it was gonna be a reality for you. Are you right now panicking about the state of economy? Or are you thinking forward and looking forward for new days and new times where we know that our individual actions matter a lot, where you can consciously make a choice whether to support a corporation or whether to support a individual business? When we're so much more aware of our interdependency, that we are taking actions from the place of love and abundance and power, where we know that every thought, action, and intention are leading us into the reality, into the future that we are envisioning, right? If you envision an economic breakdown, absence of toilet paper, that's what you get. You panic, you go buy 20 packs of toilet paper, your neighbor does the same, and everybody's out of toilet paper. If that's not the perfect example of what manifestation looks like, whether it is inspired and positive and based on love, or whether it's panic, fear-based manifestation, literally your choice. Every second. While I'm sitting literally in a pile of hair. Abundance. Hashtag abundance. And the cool part is that there is still abundance of hair on my head. And even if I shaved my whole head bald, there still would be abundance of hair to be grown in time. In time that I expect it to be grown. I'm thinking about hair growth supplements. How we expect our hair to grow faster when we take them. And the more expensive it is, the easier it is to believe that it's gonna work. So then it works. I love us. Humans are adorable. Aren't we? Aren't you adorable? Okay, so, you see? Okay, this is so far the result. Now I'm gonna, maybe, wait. I'm gonna shower, put it into order or of fluff, and we'll see how it works in the next video where it dried and settled. Have a good day, babes.